Hello and welcome to this little mini masterclass session, how to reclaim your brain. So let's get started and get straight into it. Just thinking about in terms of how this can help you. I'm going to show you how to, go from sort of struggling mentally to stay ahead, because weirdly, one of the things I'd observed about the world is we get more and more and more and more data and information, and it seems that people are retaining less and less and less. And I think that's because there's just so much overwhelm, so much fatigue, mental fatigue. So this is about, okay, what can you do to tap into your genius potential and adding a powerhouse skill to your life, to your business, etc. So that's basically what we're looking at. Now, in a nutshell, the purpose of the photo reading whole mind system is to get your reading done at the level of comprehension that you need and in the time that you have available. So it's about photo reading at 25,000 words per minute, getting through whole books in 5 minutes, and then learning strategies to remember and recall what you've read. So that's basically photo reading in a nutshell. One of the things that I'm sort of been thinking about recently is future proofing your skills, because unless you are not seeing any media at all, you will know that AI is everywhere. AI is being talked about everywhere. And I remember about a year ago, I said to a group of writers that I could see a time where their skills would be overtaken by AI. So they might have to find another way to be relevant. And these are people who write, for newspapers and magazines, journalists, etc. About 6 months later, I'm reading an article online on Facebook. I get to the bottom of the article and it says this article was AI generated and overlooked, or previewed, checked by a human editor. And I was like, all right then. I said that to people a few months back, a bit prior. They actually laughed. Many of them laughed at me, said that will never happen. And I said, I think we're going to see lots of professions where AI starts coming in. And recently I saw someone talking about AI lawyers. Now they were talking about, ironically, the legal side of using an AI lawyer, and that you should still check with a regular lawyer, but AI lawyers are a thing. So it's very, very interesting. And I know there were several corporations. Well, one of them actually has backfired. They sort of fired a load of people and said, right, we're taking all these jobs and giving them to AI. So they pretty much cut half their workforce. They're hiring some of those people back now because, of course, AI is going to require something. So I had a look today. So this is a real-time list. I Googled it today. You can Google it yourself, see what you come up with. And depending on the country that you live in, I'm in the UK, and I was saying, what are the essential skills for 2025? So I'm looking at the essential soft skills, because of course the more practical things, computing, AI, and all that sort of stuff, there's a whole category for that. But these are the soft skills. Analytical and critical thinking, number one. Problem solving, number two. Creativity and originality, number three. Communication, number four. Leadership and social influencing, number five. Active learning and learning strategies. It made me smile because, of course, photo reading is created by Learning Strategies Corporation. Number seven, adaptability and flexibility. I got this list hot off the press about 5 hours ago, for those of you who are here and watching this in real time. I then decided to mark in red those things that photo reading can help with. Analytical and critical thinking, but it's the same list. Photo reading is incredible for all of these, particularly the critical thinking, the analytical thinking, the creative thinking, having your own original thoughts, improving your communication, your fluidity, the leadership side, because if you are a leader, you need to be keeping ahead of the game. So it's going to give you skills to do that. Of course, it's all about active learning and learning strategies, and being more adaptable and flexible, because when you're working with your brain more efficiently, it leads to all of these things. So it was like, okay, then. So in terms of where the world is at this point in time, the top 7 things from that top 10 list, and the others as well. I just didn't want to have so many, it's bad practice to have tiny little PowerPoint slides, but emotional intelligence was on there, for example. Every single thing, photo reading ticks those boxes, which I thought was very interesting. So an overview of what we're going to be having a look at today. We're going to look at some of the fundamentals of how to set a clear purpose, because for those of you who are photo readers, and you might be having a bit of a refresher, Purpose is key to everything. It sits at the heart of the photo reading whole mind system. We've then got how do you sharpen your focus and reduce overwhelm. So we'll talk a bit about one of the fundamentals from step one, our good old friend, the tangerine. So I'll say more about that for those who've never come across it before. Going to look at some tips and strategies for remembering and retaining information, cornerstones of critical thinking, insight into future-proofing your skills. So I'll talk about that a little bit in the context of what I do and how I use my photo reading skills, just so you can see how it cross-references to the list I've just read to you of those 7 items. How to gamify your brain, because this is where you are going to help to stave off the cognitive decline that comes from the over-reliance on AI. And we'll talk a little bit about that study from MIT as well. And